Mark Anthony here from SiGMA TV. Today with me is Leonard from OGateway company. Leonard, how are you doing?
I'm fine, thank you. How are you doing?
I'm doing fantastic. Awesome. Thank you very much for joining us today, Leonard. I have a few questions for you. I'm a bit interested in the fintech situation here in Africa, and I'll just jump right in. Leonard, tell us about OGateway and how they provide fintech solutions to the African market.
All right, thank you.
Or actually African businesses, rather.
All right. So OGateway, we are a payment service provider. We are present in about 10 African countries today. What we do is we allow businesses to do collections and disbursements from their customers via either bank transfers or mobile money. And then we also do cross-border settlements offshore. So if you are a global business that's looking to operate in the African market, we are able to open up these rails for you in countries like Nigeria, Cote d'Ivoire, Kenya, Uganda, etc. Right? And then you're able to collect locally from these countries, and then we're able to settle you offshore in either fiat or stablecoins.
Thank you very much, Leonard. Would you say that the fintech industry has grown rapidly in Africa? And if so, what contributed to this growth?
Yeah, I believe so. I mean, about 15 years ago, we wouldn't have seen the use of stablecoins for settlements and whatnot, and even mobile money just recently came up just about 15 or 16 years ago in Kenya, and then that has rapidly grown across the African continent. So I think, yes, there has been a rapid evolution from when it first began, from traditional banking all the way to mobile money collections, as we even have today, now stablecoin settlements. You can send money across African countries within less than a minute now, and I think we are heading forward to a better, much more innovative solutions as we progress.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, let's briefly talk about policies and regulations concerning the fintech industry in the region.
Yeah.
How open is the government to allowing fintech solutions to be utilized? And would you say that the government is looking into fintech solutions and services for the public?
Yes. So I think every government is usually very, very concerned about providing secure solutions to their citizens. So I think that's where there's a bit of friction, because I'm sure every government wants to make sure that any new fintech that's coming up has the right policies in place to be able to provide stakeholders with secure payments. So I think some governments are more open than the others. Some are still very skeptical about what's happening in the fintech industry, and I believe they need to have more workshops or more forums to try and understand what these startups are trying to do in the market, and then the startups also have to get insights to what, let's say, the regulatory bodies are asking for or requiring for, to be able to allow them to play freely in the market.
Brilliant. Yeah. Thank you very much. What would you say is the biggest challenge that you think the fintech industry is facing currently?
I think today, one big concern or one big challenge that I think they are facing is the fact that we don't have, let's say, regulatory sandboxes in some various countries today to allow the startup to have that direct communication with regulatory bodies. So people start a very innovative idea, but they don't get insights to what is required from them to be able to play freely in the market. And then even trying to get across the regulator, there are so many hurdles you have to jump, and getting that direct communication is a hurdle. So I think what can be provided for such entities is to have a regulatory sandbox from the government to allow them to exhibit or present their solutions to the regulators, and then if there are any gaps that they have to fill, that can be communicated by the regulators to them, so that they tighten their loose ends and then be given the license or the permission to operate freely.
Thank you. Yes. And let's talk about opportunities. What opportunities do you see the fintech having this year?
Also, this year I think we are progressively adopting stablecoins and virtual card payments in the continent today. I've been around town, I've gone around, and I've seen that there's an increase in adoption of virtual cards and multi-currency virtual cards, for example. So I foresee a time where people in one African country are able to, let's say, deposit their local currency and then able to convert easily to other African currencies to make payments for items in different countries as well. So yeah, That's what I see happening.
Thank you very much. Leonard, I'd like to thank you very much for adding value to our show by coming over here and elaborating on the fintech market. I would like to wish you happy networking.
Thank
and
you.
I'll be seeing you definitely for sure. I see you have a very nice stand over here with your very lovely team, running the floor, bringing in leads and growing and bringing synergy. Leonard, it's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you very much. Have a great day.
Thank you too.
The OGateway Company.